Hi, everybody. It's the Todd and Erin morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. Thanks for joining us. We got a lot of stuff going on this morning.
This is an epic morning. Okay, first of all, the Morning Mountain Camet is brought to you by Black Diamond Experts, Electric, Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Look at that.
It's going to be horrible all weekend.
Freezing.
I don't want to be a crybaby, but
already
it dropped
freezing.
like 30 degrees from Wednesday.
So I have long pants on.
And it's going to be this way all weekend long. I know Zach was so ticked off that I made him wear pants this morning because he's been so used to wearing shorts this whole time. This is an epic day. First of all, London, remember the big fat berg in the sewers? It has become a cultural icon.
Somebody wants it for their own.
Happy International Chocolate Day. We're going to be taste testing to see if there's really a difference because I'm not that big about chocolate.
May change your mind today.
Well, I'm kind of lucky because that's like the only reason like my hips can still fit through a door because I like everything else.
What's that noise? Wait, are the Winter Olympics coming back?
It's possible.
We'll find out more about that.
All right, well, let's start with this.
Oh, I want to mention one thing about tourism. I saw this yesterday when we found out that Zion's National Park was the third in the country. Right? Third in the country. And basically, we are
the third most visited national park in the country.
Which is huge. And our tourism broke records from years before. So, I mean, between the hiking and the camping and the skiing and the outdoor enthusiasts, why do they call them that?
Because they're enthusiastic.
That's like having an active lifestyle.
I don't know. I'm just happy because I don't even know if you lived here.
Any sense.
I don't know if you even lived here then, but when I was growing up, like I was in junior high or high school, and I would go out of state and go somewhere, people go, "Oh, Utah, yeah, you guys are all polygamous, right?"
We say, yeah.
And that's all we got ever. Polygamous, right? And so this is so cool though, because now we're known as a state that's like kind of cool and outdoorsy,
Right.
and we do cool stuff.
And every once in a while, the King family raises their heads, and we're all polygamous again.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks for that. Very nice. And by the way, if you're listening or watching out of state, don't move here. Whatever you do, do not move here because there's no place for you.
Well, there's always the viaduct.
It's like the manger. I'm sorry, you got to sleep in a barn.
What is it with apartments right now? It's like the vacancy rate's insane. It's at an all-time low.
2.6. It's 2.6.
Yeah, 2.6%.
Vacancy.
The sad part about it, though, is that also means now that landlord, well, my brother's a landlord. I should shut up because he's probably very happy about this. But not only can they raise rates, they get to be really choosy, like, I don't think I like your middle name. I'm not renting you this apartment. So, I mean, now everyone's going to have to start courting and being really nice and like, hi, can I bring you some chocolate? Would you like some flowers? I could bake some brownies.
If you've seen the building on 7th East and around 3rd South, or seen it down by the Smiths at 5th South and 4th East.
Oh, good Lord, anywhere, though.
They're building like crazy, especially in the urban areas, because they've always encouraged that, and now they're actually getting people who want to move there.
Well, here in Sandy, in 106, they just have this massive new series of developments. It's like multi-acres worth of like condos and townhouses. So
good and bad.
Yeah, I mean, the building's up, but yeah, it's still hard to find anywhere to live.
And I would like to, at this point, to bring out the fact that we have a really nice tough shed in the backyard.
And we'll be happy to give that to you for maybe
just
$30, $40, $50 a day.
But it's a lot more if we run the extension cord.
You know what's funny, and I don't know if you know, we actually had a millennial friend of ours who was looking into Airbnb, and I said, well, I thought you were looking for an apartment. He goes, it will be cheaper for me to Airbnb it per month.
Between apartments. Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
And that's what he did. He just packed this stuff, and he would do it month by month, and he would rotate Airbnb apartments, and they were about half the price of rent. It's just that you have to be willing to pick up every month and go somewhere else. But maybe for a singleton, because you got to go through all these really great apartments downtown.
Plus, it's great if you've met someone and you don't want to see them again. You just leave.
They're knocking on the door. Hello?
Bob, we were going to go on a date.
And the German tourist opens the door. All right.
You like my lederhosen.
Pretty much it's sad.
That'd be awesome.
Tell them about the fatberg, because it's troubling.
This is the weirdest thing, and I know.
If you haven't heard about it yet, just re-explain it, because it's really uber creepy to me.
Daisy mentioned this yesterday, and a lot of people on Facebook commented that they almost vomited.
It's kind of, yeah.
Prepare yourselves.
Yeah.
Museum in London says it's trying to acquire a chunk of the 143-ton mass of oil, fat, diapers, baby wipes currently clogging one of the city's Victorian sewers.
Seriously, it's a fatberg. It is like a solid chunk. It's massive.
There's other things in it, but I'm a gentleman, and I'm not going to talk about it.
Let's not clarify anymore.
All we're going to tell you is rats in the sewers are not going to get pregnant. I would like to continue. The Fatberg collection would raise question about how we live today, inspire our visitors to consider solutions to the problem of the growing cities around the world. The Fatberg.
That is the most troubling thing I think I have
It's
ever
like
heard of.
Ghostbusters coming up through the sewer.
Pretty much, yeah, except for we can't, like, exercise this and send it
Well, and they
anywhere.
don't-
It's just going to sit there.
They're down there just
Moldering.
Look at it. They're cutting away at it.
Can you imagine that job? Hey, you got to go down to the Fatberg. What? I what? No, I quit.
I quit. I'm not.
Employment
doing
is
that.
not anywhere as important as this.
All right. So just a little bit ago, we had the BYU Utah game. Utah won. But there's another study out
Well,
about where they stand, and not sports-wise.
No, this is just colleges as a whole, and this is on a whole bunch of ranking indicators.
Like?
But it's, education excellence, variety of programs offered, you know,
Right.
teaching, blah, blah, blah.
What about
but-
location? Does it have to do with how pretty the location is?
No, U.S. News and World Report does this every year, best colleges, and
Okay.
it's pretty big. People really pay attention. BYU actually broke the top 100 on the list back in September of 2014. It was ranked 62.
Okay, and now?
It's up to number 68 this year, so it's dropped a little,
Oh.
but that's okay. That's okay.
Why would it?
And I mean, the indicators are good: academic reputation, faculty resources, student selectivity, meaning it's, I guess, hard to get in.
Why'd they drop? I mean, that's a big.
Well, they placed ahead of Clemson and Pittsburgh, and
Everyone does.
and but for ranking Utah's in-state institutions, the University of Utah and Utah State University both earned placement in the National Universities categories, but they weren't huge. University of Utah was 110th.
U of U?
Yeah. But here's the one that's really interesting. You ready for this? Utah State University ranked 216th. Here's the biggest one. In select regional universities in the category nationwide, Westminster College beat all of them.
No,
It was 19th.
Repeat this.
Westminster College ranked higher than all the rest of our schools.
For?
They listed it in excellence in regional universities.
Yeah.
It ranked 19th overall.
They're expensive.
I know, but they said it was 8th in best value schools. So, meaning the value of your education for what you spend.
Oh, right.
But yeah, so
Worth going into.
They were huge, so
into
they-
college debt. Then.
yeah, they outranked every other university and college here in the state.
How big is it? Because they only see a certain part of 13th East.
I know, I don't know, but
I'm a big. But did University of Phoenix show up anywhere?
kidding.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now,
let's
do you
go.
remember
Sports
back?
Central.
Do you remember back when we were so in love with our girls who were doing U.S. soccer at the Olympics?
I know.
And how great these girls were. And man, they were like taking a pounding, and they were in it. And there was one of the girls, and she was pulling her hair back, and she just got nailed. And she had dirt and grass all across her face and this massive scrape.
And what did she do at that
She
point?
pulled her hair back in a ponytail and ran back in there. And she had gotten nailed pretty hard.
She did get nailed. Right?
Well, Real Madrid. This is a big deal because
what?
Real Madrid, of course, is our European cousin to Real Salt Lake.
Right.
Marco Asensio.
Is this like a dislocated shoulder?
He's a
He looks
ridiculously
fine.
attractive boy. He's
Yeah.
very, very popular. He's very important to the team.
Right.
He's
What's
going to be
going on?
missing the Champions League opener, and this is pretty serious.
Okay, what's
He
going
was
on?
shaving his legs.
Yeah.
Because I guess they do that.
I don't know. Okay.
And he got an ingrown hair, and he got a giant infected pimple on his leg. So he's not going to be able to play. Because of
What?
a giant infected pimple on his leg. And he's this is our
athletes.
precious Marco's a precious snowflake. He feels like he needs to tend to this serious health.
He needs to call
issue.
Proactive. I've seen the commercials. They can help.
He's
Honest-
missing the season Champion League opener
I
for a
would like.
zit.
I would like to see a lesion about the size of a basketball for him not to play. And I can't believe the doctors and their other team
I
members.
can't believe the coach is letting that. He's like, I'm amazed he's not just screeching at him, walk it off or something.
And you know what the coach is doing? He's walking around, chasing him around, doing this.
Gonna pop it.
A pimple.
It just cracks me up because I remember the beating our girls took. He's like, I have zit, I can't play.
All right, coming up, we do have some the Tell Me Something Good story.
This one's epic.
It has to do with pizza, so it's got to
And
be
it's
good.
from the hurricane, so it's got to be
But
intense.
first,
Got to go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, there's about a 4-minute quiz that you can take, and it spits out all these amazing options for you for mortgages, and then someone will call you back within the next business day. And all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air, because disasters happen 24/7. That's fortunate. You can reach them 24/7. AllUtahPlumbing.com. My dear Daisy, what is going on today?
Hello everyone, here's what's making headlines Friday, September 15th on GephartDaily.com. A man who died after a milk tanker overturned Wednesday afternoon in Logan Canyon has been identified. The deceased is Bruce R. Giddings, 60, from Logan. The accident happened as the tanker was traveling north on US 89. The driver took a turn too fast and ran off the road to the left. The tanker overturned on the shoulder, pinning the driver and crushing the cab. Giddings, who was wearing a seatbelt, was pronounced dead at the scene. A Moab man drowned in the Colorado River Wednesday morning while attempting to save a young family member during an outing, officials said. The victim was identified as James Laverne Gregor, 70. The incident occurred in the river about 7 miles from Moab along State Route 128 in an area known as Nude Beach. A young family member wearing a flotation devices went too far out from the shore, and Gregor swam out to bring him back to shore, then yelled he was having cramps and went underwater. His body was recovered a little more than an hour later. And the Brian Head wildfire is being blamed for contaminating water in a southern Utah town. Tests have come back positive for E. coli in 5 springs around Panguitch. The city says the 77,000-acre Brian Head fire led to flooding, which stirred up contaminated groundwater. And now let's take a look at the Wasatch Front forecast, where I'm thrilled to report the temperature will be in the low 60s Friday and Saturday. I feel just like I'm at home. Low temps over the weekend will be in the upper 40s. Monday and Tuesday will get up to the mid to high 70s. That's it for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
thank you, Daisy. If you need the cavalry to come over the hill, we like to recommend John. John is from All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. They also do sprinklers. They also do humidifiers. They also do hot water heaters. There's nothing in your house. Oh, they also do garbage disposal. There's nothing in your house that has to do with water toilets. Maybe you want to upgrade to a toilet. Maybe a new tub. Or maybe you want to reinvent your bathroom and remodel it and put a bigger shower and get rid of the tub. Anything. They are licensed, bonded, contractors, all this stuff. And they can do it for you. Do a walkthrough at a brand new house. Check everything, down to washers, down to faucets. If you need some plumbing advice, put them in your phone now, because it's just going to save you. AllUtahPlumbing.com. All right, number 1, I'm hungry. Number 2, I want you to tell me something good.
This is pretty amazing. The thing I love most about that sounded wrong. The thing I love most about the hurricanes, except for the death and destruction, I didn't mean it like that. What I meant, though, whenever there is a disaster, whenever there's something that hits us hard, this is when people become awesome and they rise, and they rise to the occasion.
And Fred Rogers from the neighborhood, what did he tell us?
He always says, in a disaster, look for the helpers. There are always people helping. And so, but some of the people have been so incredibly creative that this is the part that I absolutely love. We told you about the Utahn who owned the Texas Roadhouse, and he kept it open because it was a sturdy building, and so all of his employees who couldn't evacuate stayed there during the hurricane, and he kept it open to feed first responders.
And also the restaurant out of Moab hitched up their 35-foot trailer,
drove on down,
and took it down there and did a lot of cooking for all the people as well.
Well, I absolutely love this. The manager of Pizza Hut, Shada Wilson, she was over in a section of town this is during, of course, in
Florida.
No, this is in Houston.
Oh, okay.
And this was when things were really, really low, and there was a lot of local neighborhoods where they were more or less trapped. They couldn't really get out. There wasn't any food. There wasn't any
flooding,
availability.
right?
Yeah. So she heard about this, and she said, "Okay, if this is happening, I'm going to start baking pies at full speed." So she put her whole employees on it, and they just started pie after pie after pie, assembly line.
What'd she do with them?
And so she got them all put together. They gathered several kayaks. Everybody went home and got kayaks. She borrowed a couple from a sporting goods store, because think about it, you have to have a flatbed.
Because someplace it's not that deep.
Submerged, yeah. And the team of volunteers went out. They loaded it up with the pizzas. They had over 500 pizzas throughout the day.
Oh my
God! And she said they were so happy to see us coming down their street. You never let your family go hungry.
Oh,
So tell me that is the most adorable thing ever.
Oh, that's so cool.
But I mean, just a kayak loaded
Right.
with pizza.
I'm so sorry, but I didn't order anchovies.
Oh, can you imagine? Shayna, you did a really good thing.
That is
was
a really
amazing.
good job. Matter of fact, we have to talk about Christopher's because Christopher's, this is our big thank you for watching. And thank you so much for following us into our digital platform here. And
I heard another thumbs up on the lobster corn dog appetizers. Oh, also the cheesecake for dessert.
so basically, we're sending
happy for you.
with 3 of your friends to go and have dinner at Christopher's. And it's really easy to sign up.
All you're doing is you're listening to us right now. We're talking about Christopher's. It's that simple. Just make a mention right now on the Facebook page, wherever you're watching. Hi, Christopher's, I want to win, something like that. That's all you need. And then you're automatically qualified. Now, you can do this on the Gephardt Daily Facebook page, Gephardt Approved, or on the Todd and Erin page. And we
draw on Fridays.
and that would be today. So we have a winner.
Right here.
Congratulations to Sean D. Congratulations, Sean D. I will be contacting you
We
today to
don't-
let you know what's going on.
We don't do Sean's last name because we don't want him pestered online.
We all know you're like, hey, you're my
They're
best
like,
friend,
hey,
right?
I like his steak.
So congratulations to Sean.
So we're not going to do
Sean
that.
D.
Hey, coming up next, you got the weekend update, which is going to be cool.
Whole
Plus,
bunches of new things.
it's chocolate month.
It's
the-
International Chocolate Day.
And so I know that you, chocolate. And Daisy, she's into chocolate.
She's British, so of course she likes chocolate.
We're
I
going to
don't
find
know
out if
that
she
even
knows
means
her
anything.
chocolate. And if I can convert you to a chocolate lover.
Really?
It's coming up next.
Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. Fink and McGregor, mortgages made simple. Make sure you go to fink-mcgregor.com and try out their 4-minute mortgage program. It's incredibly easy to find out whether you qualify. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is actually available anytime at GephardtDaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
All right, weekend update. What do we got?
First thing, there's only one movie that's really coming out this weekend that's of any consequence, and they showed it at the Cannes Film Festival up at the Toronto one, and it's intense.
What's it called?
It's from Darren Aronofsky, who did Black Swan. Remember
Right,
that one
right.
with Natalie Portman? Right. He does a lot of really surreal, interesting stuff that's kind of intense, and this one's called Mother.
Let's see.
Please, come in. Hello.
Hello.
He's a stranger. We're just gonna let him sleep in our house. Hello.
Hello.
Did you know he had a wife?
All right, that's freaky.
Isn't that so good? I know.
It's the lighting. Anytime in a movie like this where the door opens, it's not good.
They have some. I mean, it's very atmospheric and very creepy. Jennifer Lawrence, of course, is the hero here. She's married to Javier Bardem, which
Is she the
why
mother?
would you be unhappy?
Somebody else is the mother.
And that's Michelle Pfeiffer, and we don't know much other than that. But it's gotten panned in some places and then hugely praised in others. And Jennifer Lawrence actually fell in love with Darren, the director, during the filming, so they're together now. But it just looks uber creepy. So you and I are going to go see it because there involves blood and things that were going to make me scream.
No, I like musicals. I like
See,
soft romantic comedies.
I like shows where they blow stuff up.
I like Notting Hill.
You like character development and
I like the movie Chef. I
plot
like,
and-
stuff like that. And I'd make her take her sisters because they
if
like
you
that
really
stuff.
loved me, you would go with me.
Hell no.
You didn't even hesitate.
If you really love me, you wouldn't ask.
You suck. All right, Daisy, can you come in here?
Oh yeah, let me do this. Come on in.
All right. In honor of International Chocolate Day, not
All right.
merely National Chocolate Day, but
have you sit.
International Chocolate Day.
Have you sit right next to her. Move over just a little bit.
I had to
Of
get
course.
my Red Bull as a palate cleanser.
I understand.
Oh,
I was
right.
going to give you
All
water,
right.
but the Red Bull is good too.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
Okay, so the whole point here. I'll just sit right here. The whole point here is that.
Goodness me.
Oh, close your eyes.
I'll close my eyes.
Gonna mix them up for you. The deal is that Erin's not like a big chocolate person, but I don't think she.
the only thing that keeps me from actually still fitting through a door, because I like every other possible sweet, but chocolate's like, meh. But you like chocolate, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna find out if you guys know the difference between good chocolate and bad chocolate. Okay, and then
Because
we
there's
can-
many
Yeah.
different grades. Some
Yeah.
are made with a lot of wax.
I'm gonna come over here. Eyes closed.
Oh yeah, haven't you ever
Ladies,
seen that where they
ladies,
preserve the
eyes
shape
closed.
with wax and
Hey!
and if it gets a little old, it gets this white film on it because that's the wax coming up.
Eyes closed.
Gross. Okay.
Daisy and I were meta-communicating.
Yeah, well, you were doing it, but all right. Hold your hand out, and I'm gonna put the plate underneath it. All right, now take one of the things on the plate. Okay.
Okay.
And
I have
Daisy.
no idea.
Right,
One
okay.
of the things
As
on
cute.
the.
All right, go ahead and pop the whole thing in your mouth.
I'll show you what.
Yeah.
There's that waxy goodness.
Ew.
How is it?
Gross.
Is it really gross?
It is. Do you want it?
No, thanks.
It's
It's got that bitter aftertaste to it,
All
right?
Cleanse your palates. Cleanse your palates.
yeah. I think I
Okay.
know what that is.
Yeah, there's a bitter I've never noticed that.
All right. Now we're gonna do this one right here. All right.
I think I nearly poured
I'm
Red
coming
Bull
around
down my
behind you
shirt
this
there.
time. Close
This
your
is
eyes.
almost
Put your
as
hand
much
out.
fun as the British and American.
Right there.
foods.
Oh, I can tell this is fancy because it's got like a little
And
kind of raised like thing on
can you
it.
tell me what the raised thing is?
Maybe a bunny.
A
Daisy has
All
a thing
right.
about bunnies this week.
I know.
She told me yesterday that she would donate a kidney if they gave her a fluffy bunny.
Really? Taste the chocolate.
All right, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
liquid center.
Caramel.
Is it nice?
Daisy's caramel.
Yeah, it is
It
nice.
works. Okay.
I have caramel in my hand now, so my hand's sticky, so my
It's
OCD is
okay,
freaking
it's-
out. But okay.
Yeah, I have a napkin for you so it'll stick to it. Here.
This closed eye thing is great.
Awesome. All right. So first of all,
This doesn't have that bitter aftertaste you bet,
okay.
right?
That's because it has real food in it.
So this is a good one, right?
I like that one.
Right. And Erin, chocolate-wise, are you feeling better about the good chocolate?
That one's good.
You are.
I like
Okay.
that one.
All
I think
right.
that's one of the better.
All right.
That's got to be a
Now,
good one.
here is the tricky part. Okay. I'm gonna get this kind right here. I'll hold that up so you can see it.
Do you still have your eyes closed?
I do.
Eyes closed.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
You know
Yeah.
how he'll badger us if we try to open them. You know how he
Right.
does.
Okay. So now what we're gonna do
Yeah, that's not
is
bitter.
eyes closed.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. That's what we're gonna do right there. All right. So now I'm gonna give you this one, and this is another chocolate. Go ahead and take one of those. Now this is the international contest. Because either
Okay.
the one you just had or this one is from a foreign land we call England. So now you
So
have
is
to
either
tell me.
this one or the last one was
Right.
British?
One's American, or sort of. Which one is better?
This one. I can totally tell which one.
Of course you would. Yeah. Brit.
This is green and blacks, isn't it?
Is it what?
Wow, look at
Wait a minute.
you.
I'm a chocolate connoisseur.
You can name the brand.
Wow.
My guess would be this one is green and blacks.
Yeah.
The last one was Godiva.
Wow.
And the
now
one
you-
before was like that horrible little Mr. Good Bar thing or whatever.
You're
Open
eerie.
your
Who
eyes.
are you?
Open your eyes. You nailed it.
Was
You
I
nailed-
right?
You
Yes.
are 100%.
Wow. And we have a present for you for playing.
More joking.
Where's the crappy one? Just no, I'm kidding.
No.
Give
This
it
is the only one I had a question about.
Oh.
It's Godiva. Now, I like Godiva, but
Oh.
sometimes, you know, when they try to get all weird and specialty.
What a pretty package, though.
I know,
Look at
right?
that. So this wasn't the one we had already?
We
No.
haven't had it yet.
No,
This
we're-
is limited edition.
no, thanks. I didn't want. I'm not a sweets person.
It's a birthday cake truffle, so
Okay.
I just want to try it and
How can
see.
you cleanse your palate with Red Bull? It's like saying, let me gargle some vinegar, and now I'm going to. Okay.
Well, if you told me in advance, I would have brought
No.
homemade sorbet
That's for-
so we could have cleansed our
That-
palates.
that's
with a
for
nice,
the
like
the little
matcha
cones.
green tea sorbet or something posh like that.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You guys can just taste them. When I think people get too crazy with chocolate and stuff,
I spat mine out.
Oh, I love that.
give her the one you spit out,
Really?
so she has more.
You don't think that sort of the weird texture inside?
Well, here's the thing. I love white chocolate.
I do too. That's
But-
the only one I'll eat.
Have you ever had a snooty chocolate person say to you, when you eat white chocolate, people
That's
say,
not really
that's not even chocolate.
I know. Yeah, you're so good. We even get pissy in this anyway. That's so sad.
That's really frightening. Yeah, there's two of you, both of you.
I-
All right,
I
so
don't know,
you did
I
right.
just sent her with
She,
her.
she knows her chocolate.
That was eerie. I cannot believe you got
picked- you-
100%.
Picked a continent.
I think, do you remember when we talked, I think we talked yesterday about that giant like tunnel of fat in England?
The
That,
Fatberg.
the Fatberg. I think that I've eaten as much chocolate in my life as that Fatberg.
What was the size of this thing?
130 tons.
But you're so svelte and tiny.
You're such a buttercup.
How
Yeah.
what is your secret? Is that all you eat?
Yeah.
I've never seen Daisy consume a full meal, so I don't believe
I
her.
haven't. She actually takes 2 bites of cake and then puts it back in the fridge.
It's like, who is that?
I don't know.
Here's the thing, though, about chocolate, right? Can I be controversial?
Of course.
Okay.
American chocolate's crap. I mean, I think that chocolate that's made like in Salt Lake City, or the kind of artisan chocolates. But I mean, things like Hershey's. I mean,
Right.
come on.
Well, you know
Come
what the
on,
secret-
like I'm blaming you for
You know,
this.
My fault. I'm
But-
sorry.
Terrible American.
Is that fair?
Well, yeah, but the reason that this became famous, and the I don't know why I know crap like this. The Hershey's was the first company to figure out how to make chocolate solid, that it wouldn't melt when it was shipped. And they found out the secret of what was in it, and that's probably why
It's
it is the
wax.
quality of what it is because it was the first commercially produced chocolate for the United States of America.
So basically, we're being unpatriotic by mocking Hershey's chocolate at this
No,
time.
you could leave this in your car for an hour or two during the summer, and it would still look the
See,
same.
that's good. Do you think anyone
I don't know.
actually would choose to eat a Hershey bar, though?
But if they're right
If there were other options, though.
If there's other options, would anyone be like, oh, a Hershey bar, yum?
Let's think
There's
Halloween.
Godiva.
Let's think Halloween with a bowl of candy, and I think I would pick it over Necco wafers,
Oh, Necco, they're what even?
Well, that's
are
a
they?
given,
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh.
which are great for tiling
Horrible,
your floor
horrible
with.
little lozenges. You
Yeah,
shape things. Have you seen
yeah,
them?
With the
no,
powder
they're
on
just
them?
disgusting.
They're very
You're
dreadful.
like, oh, delicious colored chalk.
Yeah, that was apparently created by someone who hated children.
Yes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was it.
Horrible.
You could start off with a bucket full on Halloween and end up with
Oh no,
A
yeah.
bucket
a bucket full,
Yeah.
maybe some extras that they got at other houses.
And what's the best Halloween candy then?
Oh,
We're gonna have to go through this pretty soon.
Reese's Buttercups.
Really?
Right?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a little.
I like the little
jack-o'-lantern.
fun size Snickers.
There's nothing fun about small Snickers.
But you know what? You really can't beat candy corn. I'm sorry. Candy corn is a staple. It is meant to be there. Plus, you can do experiments. You can bite off the little orange parts and
Yeah.
then put the little nubbins together, or you can make fang.
And it's so wrong because you put it in your mouth and you're like, God, it's like so sweet.
Every one of your fillings is going,
and your brain is like fried, and you're like, this is so good and bad. And I
I
don't
don't know why I'm feeling this way.
And we would like to present you with your own bar of, which will last her a month,
It will.
because she'll just like that.
Lib, if you're watching, my sister loves green and blacks.
Well, maybe
So-
if she's very nice, you'll share it with her.
I might share it with
Maybe.
her.
What are the chances that you're going to share it with her?
Quite high because I'm
Really?
quite scared of her.
All right,
I
Daisy.
love you more and more
Thank you so
every day,
much.
Daisy. I really do.
Here, grab that. Thanks.
I'm quite scared of her. Actually, that could be me and Jenny, to be completely honest.
It is very true. Does Jenny like? I forget if Jenny likes it.
Jenny's tastes vary so much; it's hard to know.
Last day of the state fair.
I know that Sunday,
Last weekend.
last weekend, yeah, Utah State Fair. It's been running for a week, and it seems like it's been more low key this year.
I think we've been out of the loop a little bit because it's my number one place, and I've been wanting to go for so many years because there was one year I went and I've never seen more unfinished tattoos in my life. And I remember saying, well, I have nothing about tattoos. I have nothing bad to say about tattoos.
They're
but
just very expensive, apparently.
they're
to finish.
expensive, and if you do an outline, the outline's kind of cheap, and you got a dragon head like starting here, and all of a sudden you see a hand come out from a sleeve, and then all of a sudden down here in a midriff, I'll say it's a woman, you see part of the body, and then coming down on the leg, you see the outline of a leg with a little pointy end to it, because that's what dragons have, and that's it. There's no green, there's no yellow, it's just the outline, which I find fascinating, which means I've overestimated my income.
Yeah, my ambitions have exceeded
And-
my pocketbook.
Like the small animal exhibits, like the bunnies and the fancy pigeons. I know no one else does, but
Oh,
I
how
do.
we had to pat down Katie every time to make
Uh-huh.
sure that she wasn't stealing a baby piglet to take home.
Piglets, the big
It was
pigs.
a piglet.
And of course, this means it's the end of the butter sculpture, which is the pioneers, isn't it?
I
This
believe
year?
so this year. Yeah, they should have made a Justin Trudeau butter sculpture like they did in Ontario.
With holding two pandas.
It was really very adorable. The West Coast Lumberjack Show is this weekend. It is action-packed, nonstop entertainment, adventure, and heritage at its best, performing log rolling, tree climbing, axe throwing, chainsaw carving, and more.
I was on the Unity College
Professional.
team.
You guys had a team?
We have a team. All the
You
all the
had a-
colleges in Maine had a lumber team because we studied forestry.
I've been married to you for 20 years, and you have never shared with me that you were on a lumberjack team.
Do you want me to run down the events?
You were a competitive
Yes.
collegiate
Yes.
lumberjack?
Yes.
Did they give you letter sweaters for that?
No,
like
because
the little
that's
rings?
not red suspenders. So
Yes, please give me the rundown.
my special.
How would I not know this about
I know.
you?
I just
How would
realized
you-
I never told you about this.
You were a competitive collegiate
Yeah.
lumberjack.
Yeah. There was one event that I was terribly frightened of in speed chopping. And so basically you hone an axe to a sharpness that can split an atom. And you stand on top of a log that's about this big around.
Oh, I've seen this.
Spread your legs about this far. And what you're going to do when you stand on it, what you're going to do is you're going to chop the log between your legs until it breaks in half. And you have to stand on it until it falls off the stand. You wear these boots that look like the Tin Man, that cover your toes.
That seems wise to
And
me.
underneath that, you have your steel-toed boots. And there
That
has
seems
been
wise.
some tragic accidents, and these guys just full force, just dun. Chunks come out like this big.
What if your hand slips, like you get all sweaty, and then all of a sudden you don't have a leg?
Then you're not in that competition anymore, at least for the weekend. My thing was I threw a
Wow.
double-bladed axe. And it's much more finesse, and it's a fairly large axe, and they have a log standing up, and they have a red dot on it, and you throw it, and you pull it back like this, and you take a step, and you release, and it goes soom, soom, thunk.
Are you kidding me?
I've never told you about
You have
this.
never told me this.
Oh, and then the other event is they put a big pole in the ground. It looks like a telephone pole. It's a log. And basically they go out and they put a stick with a little flag on it, and your job is to hit the stick. Chop the tree down, hit the stick.
You're kidding me.
No,
You're supposed to aim
And
the
I've
tree.
done that. I've done that, and you go out and you cut it, and then back cut it, and then it's come on, and you get the person who gets closest to it, crushes the thing, wins. You didn't know. I didn't tell you this.
You have never told me this.
I know. I just
You know the
realized
minute we
that.
get home, you're going to have to get a double-headed action, and I've got to get to watch you
It was
throw it somewhere in the
really.
backyard.
I can do that. It's really. I'll take a video of it.
A double-headed, yeah, you're going to have to.
Just make sure the neighbors' dogs are inside.
Yeah, that's for the best.
And it was an excuse to see women because there's women's teams too.
There were female lumberjack collegiate competitive teams as well.
Grr. Yeah. And at night you get to around a big bonfire, and then what they do is you jump on top of the fire on the log and you drink a beer before you could get off. That's what lumberjacks do.
How could we have been together this long and I did not know this crucial element of your upbringing?
There was sawing too, but that took too much effort. Throwing the axe, pretty easy.
Looks good. That's
Yeah.
kind of like a very Scottish thing too. Like you could do that in the Highland Games. That seems like something they'd be doing.
They just throw stuff at things, sticks and rocks.
You've
That's
got to
what they
be
do.
kidding me.
Sorry, I didn't tell you that. I
My
had no
husband
idea.
was a competitive collegiate lumberjack.
Competitor, not like the pros, just a guy looking for a date.
With an axe. Because that must have turned out great, dragging the double-bladed axe behind you. You want to go see a movie? Yeah, I bet you got a ton of yeses on that one, baby.
Yeah, what's that you're wearing? W2 cycle oil?
I cannot believe this about you. Yeah, I swear, we'll get a video of him throwing the double-bladed axe sometime this weekend because you know we all have to see that. I have to see that.
It'll happen.
You and all these hidden, unplumbed depths.
I'm also a woman.
That's going to be hard to explain to the kids.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Okay, moving
right.
on then. Moving on.
GPS should not be trusted.
Well, okay, look, let's just be honest about this, you guys. I think all of us have been in the position where Google Maps has screwed us over. And
Oh, remember that time we were coming out of Boston? We were looking for Logan Airport coming down in, and it sent us through industrial area.
sent us through the middle city, and then it sent us to this dike where there was all these ships going through. We had to wait for an hour to
It was
get
a
over
channel.
a bridge.
It's a channel, not
A channel.
word. That's Holland.
All right, whatever.
Right.
But at some point, if you realized it was going to actually hurt you, wouldn't you say,
Yeah.
I don't trust you anymore, technology?
So what happened?
Gabriel Bishop, he was in Bucks County.
Here?
Bucks County, no, that's in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
He was driving on a bike path, which, initially seems to be a problem right there. And it's running along the Lehigh River there. He was following his GPS unit, which ended up leading him to drive on the bike path. which you would immediately go,
Hello.
I think this is a bike path.
This is really narrow.
He then allegedly tried to reverse west on the bike path.
Right.
He realized he couldn't head east any longer because the car would not fit under the 3rd Street Bridge. He was
For
then
bikes.
unable to stay on the bike path when it narrowed and the car rolled off into the river, according to police. He was not injured, but he was issued multiple citations for traffic
Sure,
offenses.
he's going to try to. There's people have tried to sue Google.
How long were you gonna drive on the bike path before you went? Perhaps this is ill-advised. I'm just curious why he. The only thing that stopped him is that he couldn't get under the bridge. I mean,
He trusts technology way too much.
apparently so. Okay. All right. Coming up in just a couple of minutes. This is a real possibility. We're going to have another Olympics.
Oh.
This is a very real possibility that
You
in
know what it means?
2026.
You know what
it's
that
us.
means? We could drink Budweiser on Main Street. Wow, it's coming up next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
Did you know you can buy a house with a 600 credit score?
Really?
We have lenders, we have programs, stuff that's come up in the last couple of years. 600.
Wouldn't you have to have like 50% down or something, though?
Nope. 3.5%.
Where would you start the process on this?
Well, Fink and McGregor has a website, 4minutemortgage.com. Just go there, fill it out, up and running.
How long until you get back to us?
1 business day. Whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
Where do you get the down, though, if you're broke?
It can be a gift from family, relative, significant other, even your work.
Gift, huh?
Yeah.
You know what that makes me wish?
What?
Makes me wish I had friends with money.
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
very excited. You know what next week is, right?
You should.
You know what next week is?
What?
You know what next week is? It's Comic-Con! Which means I've already got the massive list of all of the celebrities that I have to interview. By the way, can I say one thing? It's not a huge criticism, but I know that Brian and Dan are very, very smart men. And I'm confused why all the billboards say celebrity star, because celebrity and star are essentially the same word.
Right.
So calling someone a celebrity star
Uh-huh.
doesn't seem logical to me.
Okay, so it's bothering you.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you about it in a minute, because there was a
Okay.
big judge ruling that comes with Comic-Con.
All right, I want to tell you about something that I think is really cool, and it's something we've done here in Salt Lake City, and it has to do with the Winter Olympics.
Now explain how we somehow got put back into
We've
the
been
mix.
talking about this. People have been talking about this for like the last 10 years, you know, and so the deal is that you've always seen the stories about the Summer Olympics and the most recently the football stadiums that have been built in the jungle.
Rio,
And
yeah,
they're
not
doing it for
good.
Rio, and they played 10 games in them. And because it's the middle of nowhere, there's no population there to play and use the facility, so they just let them go. This happened in Rome. This happens everywhere. They have pictures of, you can look this up online, they're really incredible pictures, but they have like ski jumps that have trees going through them. They have luges that are covered with bushes and trees and stuff.
And we were
Ours-
actually very good about continuing to use our stuff. The Olympic Winter Park up in Park City has done a really good job.
Well, here's the point. The Olympics, they give you money to maintain the items. And everybody chose to take the money as opposed to do what they wanted to do with it, which was to preserve this stuff. Utah, smart as you are, you decided to maintain the things, and we have become an international training center, from the ice rink, the sheet, to our incredible...
Are they still curling in Ogden?
They do curl. And the luge, the high jump, we've got the mountains still, that's obvious. So anyway, we've got all this infrastructure in there.
The mountains,
We
infrastructure.
were up against, at one point, we were up against Denver. They still might make a move on it, except for
it's Denver.
they put it on a vote for the public.
Oh, really?
If they want to do the bond, because it's friggin' expensive. And
Yeah.
Salt Lake in Utah we built a lot of this stuff to show that we were into it without getting the bid. We already built these things, right?
Yeah, it was ready to go.
And plus Denver, it's like you want to go skiing, it's an hour and a half away from Denver.
Yeah, you land at the airport, like, let's go skiing, and then 2 hours later.
So the population voted it down.
Really?
Yeah. And now the thing is they rejected the bond issue. Now we've got all of our stuff still going since 2002. And here's something really interesting is the fact that no one wants them anymore. You just saw what happened this last year with the Summer Olympics.
They're so ridiculously expensive.
This is a country where
and they're beginning not to see the return on any kind of an investment. They're beginning to go, why are we doing this?
they don't have a water system for their citizens. And yet they spent all this money on, and they go into debt. And it's happened like everyone except for us, it
We're
seems
frugal.
like. LA did pretty good because they had a population that could use the different things. Turn housing into apartments. I mean, they've done some smart things over the time period. But we have got everything ready to go. We're building new hotels. We've got the parkings. There's parking lots up in my Park City you don't even know about.
It is so funny, yeah, in the middle of nowhere.
And they're still lit, and they're still ready to go. And so this might be an opportunity to come back in.
So we're thinking 2026?
2026 is what they're thinking about.
That would be cool. I would love to see us as a repeat because I don't think I ever, and especially 2002 where there was so much scrutiny because it was right after 9/11, enormous anxiety about terrorism. And I gave President George Bush massive props because instead of sitting in some careful little iced glass box.
Right.
He went and sat with the athletes.
Oh, that's right.
And it was so cute. Remember, they're all like, take a selfie, take a selfie. And
Right.
he was taking selfies
At
with
the
all the
Rice
kids.
Eccles Stadium.
It was so adorable.
Right.
So
anyway,
yeah.
and we made a bucket load of money, the state did. And so if we already have everything set up, why not? And you're right about the tension because after 9/11, because we were in radio at the time, and driving to work in the morning at 5:30, you would go by and there were guys with M16 sitting behind sandbags on every corner. And that was a little weird.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was.
a little weird.
It was.
But now things are better, and we could go and do this. And I don't know. I think because it's the big expenses are already done.
I know, that's the funny thing, really. We don't have as much to
And?
do. And then we get to be awesome.
And as I stated before, for like a week, you could drink Budweiser in the middle of State Street.
I don't know why
And
you'd
then-
want to,
and then
but
not,
you could.
and then not
But
forever.
Just the thought that you could,
Right.
even though I've never wanted to drink beer.
All right, we need information. National headlines.
All right, let's do that first. Daisy, of course, is in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink & McGregor. Go to fink-mcgregor.com for some fabulous mortgage options in about 4 minutes, and someone will call you back within a day. Also by Black Diamond Experts. This is electric, plumbing, heating, and air with a brand new office, by the way, in Ogden. You will be glad you called an expert. BlackDiamondExpert.com. Good morning, Daisy. What is going on?
Hello again, everyone. Here's a look at national and world news headlines for Friday, September 15th on GephartDaily.com. President Donald Trump visited the Naples and Fort Myers areas on Florida's Gulf Coast Thursday to observe cleanup efforts. At least 31 people in 3 states were reported dead from the effects of Hurricane Irma. Florida officials have reported at least 24 deaths, including 8 who died Wednesday after an air conditioner at a Hollywood nursing home failed. Officials say it could be another week before all power is restored to the beleaguered state. The Department of Homeland Security and State Department announced Wednesday they would impose visa sanctions on 4 countries for not taking back citizens who have been ordered to be deported from the United States. The sanctions will be imposed on Cambodia, Eritrea, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. Only certain categories of visa applicants will be restricted under the sanctions, and a final determination will be made on a country-by-country basis. But unless the countries in question deliver an appropriate response, the DHS said wider visa restrictions could be imposed on the general population. Police in Florida say 2 men were arrested for attempting to drive off with a utility pole on top of their SUV. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office tweeted a photo showing 2 handcuffed men sitting on the curb next to the SUV with a JEA utility pole balanced on the roof. The Sheriff's Office indicated the pole might have been felled by Hurricane Irma before the men attempted to take it. No word on what the gentlemen were planning to do with the pole. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to gebhardtdaily.com. For now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, thank you, Daisy.
Okay, back to Comic-Con, because I was really excited about this.
Are you going to talk about?
I'm going to tell about it, and I'll talk about it in a minute, because I don't know. Okay, the ruling was interesting. But anyway, first of all, Black Diamond. Black Diamond Experts, Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air. As I was telling you, they just barely came out with an Ogden location, which makes it even easier to get a hold of them. But here's why I really like these guys. I've seen repair people come to my house that I'm 99% certain had no idea what they were looking at, and they were going to pull out an instruction booklet the minute my back was turned. These guys show up, they're licensed and bonded and insured. They put it on the little booties, they come in. Very nice, very polite, take care of your family, very courteous. You feel comfortable having them there. They'll give you a bid. Whatever the bid is, when the job is finished and done to your satisfaction, is what you will pay. Nothing extra, nothing more, none of this, oh, is this and that? No, none of that. So this is why I really like these guys, because they stand by their word. Whatever it is, whatever they do, that's what they do, and it'll be done right. So if you're interested, go to blackdiamondexpert.com, and of course you can also get them 24/7 for any kind of emergency. It's blackdiamondexpert.com.
All right, time for wildlife stories out of Canada. Eh? All right, so this lady's driving along, okay, and she's going to work, and she's traveling along, and a coyote jumps out in front of her car. Alberta, Canada, and she hits it, and it's just when I hit a bird, I'm like, oh.
Well, it's the same thing though. When they talked about deer here, they said do not swerve because it'll be worse.
It'll be worse if you go overcorrect and all that.
So it's
stuff.
probably the same thing with Alberta.
So she's sitting there going, oh my gosh, it killed a coyote. She was just, distraught. And she finally got off the freeway, and then she pulled in, and a construction worker went, hey lady, there's a coyote in your grill. What? There's a coyote in your grill.
Can you see this picture?
That's the
There's
coyote.
her white car.
That's a
That
grill.
That is the black plastic grill. And the coyote had hit it in such a way
that he folded in.
And
All
the
right,
poor
so-
guy had a very big breezy ride.
At highway speeds for like 30 minutes.
But look at him.
All right, so
this poor thing.
So she gets out of the car and she sees the construction workers are all there and stuff. So they call the Department of Wildlife Resources, and they show up and they're looking at this, going, "Oh my gosh!" And here the coyote's awake. You know, he's blinking and he's like looking around.
Dude, you have no idea what I've been seeing.
And so
You have no idea, man. I got to go back and tell the other guy.
I got bugs all over me.
Poor thing. Can you imagine? He
So-
must just have been like.
I know. So basically what they did is they went in very carefully and they put a muzzle on him and they started cutting the plastic out and going like this. And they're thinking, this guy's going to be busted up. He's going to, and so they had a vet there with the wildlife
Probably have to
group.
euthanize it. Yeah.
And they got him out and then they just like kind of laid him down and held him and they touched his legs and they touched his ribs and they didn't flinch and tested all these things and they went, I think he's okay. I think he's bruised, but I don't think he's not broken as far as we can tell.
He got hit, but he was not injured.
They picked the animal up. They put it in a carrying case. They put it in the back of their truck. They drove it back to where she said she hid it. They pulled over on the side of this road. They opened the gate, and the thing trots off into the woods. Who now has the best story to tell his friends.
Yeah, at all the little coyote parties, he's like, I can take that weight. Just listen to this. That poor thing.
Oh, you caught a squirrel.
Just
Big
the
deal.
expression on his face, though, just like, I have no idea what happened here.
But I really, and it wasn't used to humans. It wasn't sick.
It was a
that
wild
made
animal,
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just healthy wild animal. Just got caught looking the other way.
That was the weirdest
I know.
one ever. All right.
So you
Coming
are
up-
going to tell us about critical judging rules at Comic-Con.
I know I'm obsessed, but you know how I am. Also, the most annoying woman you've ever met from one of the Real Housewives stories, and she's so outrageous you're just going to die. Anyway, that's all coming up next. We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
All right, thank you very much. We are back, the Todd and Erin morning stream on GephardtDaily.com. All right, get it off your chest now. What are you so excited about?
Okay, I'm just a little protective because San Diego Comic-Con, of course, is the cultural mecca. This is where everybody goes, and every single movie and every single television show and all that stuff goes there, and they court all the viewers and all the fans there. Okay, it gets 135,000 visitors a year. That's nice. It's the biggest one. We get 120,000 visitors for our Comic-Cons. So we are just barely behind them. We outstrip like New York City,
So what's the point?
Philadelphia, blah, blah, blah. Well, once they realized that we were going to be a problem, and we were, because, I mean, the first one that Dan Farr and Brian Brandenburg held, they had a hard time getting celebrities, guests to come.
So is it
Because
is
it was
it the
new and they weren't sure.
Is it the population that they're dragging to San Diego out of Utah
Well,
that's
it's-
bothering them, or
They realized that we're a threat, so they filed a lawsuit
Threat.
saying you can't be at Comic-Con. And it got down to these really weird things like San Diego Comic-Con holds the trademark on Comic-Con with a hyphen, but it abandoned its bid for the rights for Comic-Con with a space. So we went to Salt Lake Comic-Con with a space,
Right.
but they're claiming no because it still is like a trademark thing like Kleenex, and everyone really thinks it's us. So it got to this really
Right.
random thing where they were really aggressively going after
in
Salt
court
Lake.
they were doing this in
And
court.
so the judge just ruled, and everyone's been waiting, going, and he goes, yeah, it's going to have to go to a jury. So
A jury trial.
they've spent I can't even imagine how many tens of thousands of dollars on attorneys, and everyone was waited like, please just get this over with.
And the weird thing is the judge showed up in a Pikachu costume.
No, that was a onesie underneath his robe.
Nice.
They didn't see it till afterwards. He didn't want to, sway anybody.
Nice. So what happened?
That's the point. Nothing. So they have to start this all over again.
What
So
a waste
anyway,
of time.
so we get Comic-Con. It comes up next next Friday and Saturday. Very, very excited. And they've got some huge stars this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. But once again, it's either celebrity or star because they're the same thing. Just one. So,
Cat or dog person? Dog.
dog.
Like cats.
Mm-hmm.
Go over a friend's house, they have cats. I'm all over patting the cat. It's all good. But more of a dog person. It's just a really weird, kind of strange story in San Diego, California. This guy named Nigel, hard day at work, goes home, unlocks the door, puts his briefcase down, puts his keys on and then looks over at his chair, and there's a kitten sitting there. Little kitten.
Oh, it's nice he came home to his little kitty. His kitty was
Darling-
waiting for
darling
him.
cat.
How
just sitting
sweet.
there. The problem is Nigel doesn't own a cat.
What?
Cat just
Showed up?
made his way into the house and sat on Nigel's chair where he likes to watch television. And Nigel looked at the cat and thought, oh my gosh, I gotta... Goes out and gets cat food and some toys and stuff. First mistake, by the way, Nigel.
Yeah. The cat
And
knew
then
you
he
were a
gets
sucker.
it's just reeling you in like a fish. And then he got a couple other things, and he put out notices about anybody got a lost cat, and nothing came back, and the cat just going, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Making himself at home in Nigel's place, which
And
is my favorite part.
And acting
Look
really
how
nice.
cute that
except for
is.
that part.
That's
Yeah.
acrobatic kitty.
It is. So next day, Nigel says, well, you know what I'll do? I'll take him down the vet, and they can run the wand over
The
and
chip, yeah.
and see if it's there. So Nigel carefully gets the cat. He goes and buys a cargo carrier thing. Getting you good now, Nigel. And takes it down the vet, and they wave the wand over it, and nothing happens. And so they don't have any information. This cat appears out of nowhere.
So he still doesn't know how the cat got into his
He
house.
put more signs up. Oh, it came through some vent thing. So he figured that part out. But has no idea where the cat put up more posters. Nothing happened. Next thing you know, Nigel's buying a ball of yarn. Gotcha, Nigel. Gotcha.
And this final picture, I think that we all understand exactly what the kitty is thinking. And the kitty is thinking, I own you. I own you. And he does. But Nigel looks pretty happy about it.
Nigel looks good.
I just love that the cat was waiting for him, but he didn't know
So I
anyone.
started getting him stuff, and the cat's going, that's right. That's right. You just keep going. And give me that fancy food. I don't want that dry stuff.
Now, explain this to me, because a low-speed chase.
Yeah. Well, remember Simpson.
Well, this is true.
That was O.J.
Yeah,
Simpson.
O.J. Simpson was a low-speed chase.
In the white Bronco, remember
Weirdest thing ever.
Going like 20 miles an hour, and all the cops behind him and stuff. Well, this small-town mayor,
Wait.
South Carolina.
This is a mayor?
Yeah, it's a mayor. So the cops are going down here. They see this guy, and so they say, you know, might be having issues, so they try to pull him over on his lawnmower. And
He was using a riding lawnmower.
he's got a beer in his hand. And they start following him, and they've got the lights going and
Like,
stuff.
hey, pull over.
The guy doesn't stop. He just keeps going. And this goes on for about 10 minutes, and the cops are kind of laughing about it. Another cop show up, and they're all tracking each other, the lights going. And guy keeps steering and keeps going down the road with a beer in his hand. One of the cop gets out of the car. No one stops. Everybody's still going. And he walks quickly up next to the driver of the lawnmower and says, would you pull over for us?
Mayor?
And he goes, Mayor. And the mayor pulls over, and they go through that. And they said, can you tell us what you're doing, sir? And he
And what did Mayor Gardner say?
Just felt like taking a drive on my mower with a beer.
He said, it was just a misunderstanding. The beer was unopened to the best of my knowledge.
Best of his knowledge.
I remember opening it to pour it out.
And they let him go. Which they should. It's a lawnmower. Don't you think?
I'm still just picturing him going,
The fact that someone can walk faster than you're driving
could you please pull over, sir?
is just ridiculous.
That is
Anyway,
epic. Okay.
State Fair last weekend.
We've told so many amazing stories over the last 2 weeks about Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Harvey and the incredible heroism of people and the generosity and the kindness and all the amazing things that they've done, right? Then there's Lisa Hochstein. I do not watch the Real Housewives series because I can't take it. I just can't. But apparently,
I always feel sorry for the people who know those people.
she was in Real Housewives of Miami, and she posted a picture Monday on Instagram, and it was a picture of her family. And it was super adorable.
Is this the one where she's holding her little lap dog?
Yeah, they're both holding these two little dogs, and
Right.
that's her little family, and it's this big, gigantic private jet.
Right.
I mean, it's like a 20-seater, and she goes, hey, we're just heading out ahead of Hurricane Irma, but all the flights were booked, so we just rented a jet. We were so lucky. And so she's posting this picture of herself with this gigantic private jet,
As
and
people
so
can't get out of town.
so simple-minded that it doesn't even occur to her. So she wrote back, actually, it's none of your damn business. She goes, every seat was occupied. My son had to sit in my lap. Everyone was posting about how bad it was, but we had to have the dogs have their own seats because they have special issues. And she was really bad. She goes, we don't have to apologize to you. And she goes, I'm just praying for everyone who's been devastated by the hurricane.
Now, can I have some caviar and champagne, please?
Oh, that's so charming.
Ah, there she is.
Did it ever occur to you to let a couple more people in on the plane with you? I would have put the dog on my lap,
The people wanted to eat the dog.
I just that utter level of cluelessness to me is like,
It would have been
really
better.
just posted a picture of yourself in a private jet fleeing Hurricane Irma?
It would have been better if she just left and not told anybody. So
Yeah,
anyway.
I think that really
All right,
would.
so once again, State Fair last weekend. Go out and have some fun. It's going to be
The
cold.
lumberjacks are throwing stuff.
The lumberjacks are throwing. Are we doing that when I get home? We're going to throw an axe.
You know we're throwing an axe.
Okay, we're throwing
and
an
that
axe
doesn't
when we
mean
get home.
anything else. It really is just throwing an axe.
That's not a
all it is.
euphemism
No,
for
it's
something
not.
fun
No,
for the
it
weekend?
really isn't. It's just.
Well, it could be.
I didn't know you were a competitive collegiate lumberjack. Of course you're going to go throw an
I
axe.
have to go find some plaid to wear. All right, you guys have a great weekend with the Todd and Erin morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. I don't know why I never told you that.
I cannot believe that I have known you this long and I did not know that about you. I thought you told me all of it.